what's up? I kind of prefer it like this. Let's just do the book review like this. So I realized that I literally just published a video of a to-read list, and this book is not on that list. That list was more focused on traditionally published books, and I have started a few. I have. And the book that I'm about to review is a Wattpad story. So something about me, I absolutely love to support independently published books, including, you know, Wattpad writers and writers of writer's fiction and things like that. I didn't include Wattpad stories in my to-read list simply because I don't really have a set lists of books. I more just find something and read it. Although I do have a library on there if anyone wants to go check it out. The links are below. So that being said, at the end of this video, I'm going to be eating one of these for no other reason than to torture myself, because I've already had one. They're absolutely disgusting. Someone's putting on fireworks. I don't know. So I am not looking forward to this at all because my fat ass ate all the nice ones. And I know for sure that there is only bad ones in here. I know that for sure. But if there's any reason to eat these, it's for views on the internet. So as long as I don't get rotten egg. The first one I ever got was rotten egg, and I do not want to do that again. I don't want to put myself through that. Anyway, so that will be happening at the end of this video. Okay, so let's get into it. The way that I review Wattpad stories or writer's fiction stories is going to be a little bit different from the way that I review traditionally published books. I mean, not much different, but I just like to focus on different things because I feel like they're just two different places with two different audiences. This book is called REDARK Luna, and the cover, I'm going to put it over here somewhere. And the first thing that I want to review is the cover. I want to say that this cover, I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful, gorgeous cover. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really pretty. That was my first thought, like, that's really pretty. It's just like a nice aesthetic. It comes across really like ethereal, I think is the word, ethereal. I should probably look that up. I'm kind of tempted to grab my phone and just be like, what does ethereal mean? Is that the word I'm intending to say? Give me a second. What does ethereal mean?
Ethereal.
Ethereal? Is that how you say it?
Ethereal.
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 Ethereal. Extremely delicate and light in a way that seems not to be of this world. Okay, yeah, like that's the sort of feel that I got. I was saying the right word, I was saying it wrong. What was I saying? Because it's ethereal. That doesn't sound right. I was saying ethereal.
Ethereal.
Anyway, learn something new every day. I do pronounce a lot of words wrong. That's probably because I'm dyslexic. But that aside, ethereal. Is that right? How did she say it? Ethereal. Something like that. That's the vibe that I got from the cover. This is not going well so far, but that's the vibe. However, so it's like, I like the cover. However, when I started to read the book, I felt like the cover didn't quite fit the aesthetic of the book. And I say that really carefully because it's like, the book essentially, I don't want to spoil, but the book essentially is like about time traveling, and it's like, I kind of get that from the cover by the sense of it's like, you know, a fading image type thing, you know, it comes across very like spiritual, so to speak, or of the spirit, you know, whatever. So it's like it fits, but it's like it's the essence of the cover. The cover's so soft and delicate, as I said, and the story is actually quite like gritty and action-packed, and like it has a lot of you know, and it's like the cover just does, it's not an cover. I think that a cover that, you know, would maybe go with a story like this is, I can't remember the name, I gotta look it up. What's Jeff Deck? Yeah, City of Ports, The Shadow over Portsmouth. I'm probably pronouncing, I'm so paranoid now, I'm probably saying everything wrong. Anyway, these book covers, all here, I feel like that would be a really good vibe for this story. Or like something more badass with like a sword or something, you know? But it's like the cover, yes, beautiful. It does fit because it's like the fading, but I just feel like it's not enough. It just doesn't have the grunt that I'm searching for. So, you know, it's okay in terms of the cover. Comparatively, I think so if I compare this cover to other covers of Wattpad, I would say it's a really well put together, like professional looking cover. So absolutely no hate to the cover or the artist or anything like that. So the blurb is the next thing that I want to talk about. I absolutely love this blurb. It's incredibly hard to write, like to summarize an entire plot. Like as a writer, I know that it's so hard to get like, well, I struggle with it at least. I don't know, maybe other people don't, but it's really hard to like just condense everything into like 3 paragraphs or 2 paragraphs like they did. And they did it very well. Like when I read the blurb, I was like, this sounds really freaking cool. This sounds like a story. It's not a story that I would traditionally choose to read. However, it does have elements of things that I'm interested in. So the time traveling element, I was straight away like, yes, give me some Donnie Darko, like love it. Anyways, so I was really excited for that. I was like, how are they going to do this? Because I mean, I've always been interested in time travel. Like I'm Back to the Future, big fan. And it's hard to do things like that well. It's hard to, you know, because you're playing with time. It's a complicated thing to write for one, and to, you know, write well. But I feel like these writers, they do a really good job at that. So the book is set in the future, which I found really interesting. And one thing that I really liked about it is the writers use their own language. And I found that really, really, really fascinating because as someone, like I've done that for a few of my books, it's hard to do because if you're using your own language, no one knows what it means, and you've got to kind of either find a way to explain it in the text while not saying this is the word for this, because it's like you don't really think that way. Well, I mean, I write in first person, so it's like I do it a few times in my story, but it's a complicated line. This book is in third, which is another reason why it's not like a traditional book that I would read, because I don't really read books in third person. I prefer first person, and that's just like a personal preference. I really like the psychology of a character. However, you do get little views into their mind, so it's like it was in third, but you do get those little, you know, I want to say nuggets of information, but that doesn't sound dainty at all. That doesn't sound nice, but you get that little bit into their head, which I really enjoyed. So my favorite character is probably Minna. I love that name, hopefully pronouncing it right, because I've always said Minna and I'm not finding out that I'm pronouncing that wrong too. That's probably, anyway, it's probably like Minor or something. It's probably, you know, I'm just gonna do it. Minna, meaning, I've loved this since I was like, this name since I was like a kid. Come on, I want the lady to say it to me. Oh, sure, now she's absent. Just my luck. Anyway, so love that name, and that's also a common feature of the story, I guess, is that it has a lot of really unique names. Like I'm a person, I'm just fascinated with names. So I was like this, like I remembered all the characters are memorable because of their names. And they do have very unique characters as well, which also adds on an element. I enjoy the dialogue. As a writer, I know it's very hard to write characters interacting in a way that seems real. So that would be one of the biggest struggles as a writer, I think, is making the conversations flow naturally. And the writers absolutely nail this. And the characters are real, and they've got really cool names, which I love. But it's not like, the names are weird and different in a way that's like aged, but in a good way. So it's like, obviously it's in a different time, so there's going to be different popular names, there's going to be different language and everything like that. It all makes sense, but it's done in a way that isn't confusing. So there's some books, like, I don't want to start calling books out. I haven't fully read it. I've just read a little bit of it. Okay, so don't come at me. I know it's a franchise. I know it's amazing. No hate, because obviously I love it. I'm a fan. I've got Tyrion somewhere on my shelf. Game of Thrones. Even watching the TV show Game of Thrones, I just I just started just nicknaming everyone, like, oh, the other white guy, oh, the white guy with the beard, the old white guy, that snaky guy with the eyes, like, because the names are just so, you know, like, just so out there that I couldn't keep up. Now this story, and that just might be my dyslexia, I don't know, but this story, it does have different names that aren't really traditional, but it's not in a way that's like confusing or off-putting. It's in a way that feels very natural, and I like that. So my favorite thing is both my least favorite thing about this story. So it's like the thing that I absolutely love about this story is also the thing that I'm like, you know, is a bit confusing. So that's my only nitpicky thing with this story. Other than that, absolutely love it. I gave it a 9 out of 10. So yeah, my only nitpicky thing is that these writers created such an amazing world with such a complex plot, and it's very unique. They add in myth lore and all these amazing elements with these amazing characters with unique names, with their own language, and it's all very, very good and very unique. Although the story is obviously very different from things like Star Wars, this is probably the biggest compliment I'll pay to anyone ever, I got like that kind of vibe. It's like you're entering another world, and it feels like you're entering another world, which is awesome. Favorite thing about it. However, it's very hard to create a different world and to introduce readers to a world that's so unfamiliar from the norm and do it in a way that's not confusing. So particularly at the start of the book, I just found it like a little bit confusing and hard to follow, because there's a lot of like split scenes where it's changing between, and it happens very quickly. And even though the writers sort of give a bit of back information before the story, I was still a bit like, wait, what's happening here? What's happening? But it was interesting enough that I kept going. You know, it was, the characters were, there was a lot of action, which is good. You always want to start a story with a lot of action, and the characters they were immediately likable, and you could tell they had a connection. They cared about each other. There was a lot already there, which was great. I don't ever want to like hate on anyone, but it's like books that start slow I don't have the patience for it, I suppose. And a lot of traditionally published books start really slow, and I don't know why. I don't understand why. Like, start it in the action, start it where something's happening, and these authors did that, which is amazing, absolutely amazing. However, it was just a little bit confusing to follow because it was just so much new so quickly. So that's my only nitpicky thing. After you adjust to the changes in the world and realize, you know, they've got their own language and where they are and the setting and everything like that, the book is sensational. I think it's honestly one of the best books on Wattpad. I think that it's very, very much a hidden gem on Wattpad. I love the creativity of it. That is my absolute favorite thing. Like, there is a lot of the same on Wattpad. I don't want to be that person that comes in here and is like, Harry Styles. Because obviously that's all popular for a reason. You know, there is a lot of boy meet girl stories on Wattpad for a reason. It's because, yeah, like, for one, you're looking at the audience. A lot of the audience on Wattpad are young teenage girls, so it makes sense that therefore there's a lot of these stories. However, it is nice to always find something different of the norm. So no hate to these stories. I love them. I have a few in my library. I've read a lot of them. Some of my favorite writers on there write these stories. No hate whatsoever. It's just nice to find something completely different. This book isn't like anything I've read before, and that's saying a lot, particularly in this, you know, day and age where it's so incredibly hard to find something unique. So I have given it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, that's a good review. It might even be a 9.5. I can't remember now, but I rated it well. And I'm looking forward to more, and I just want to come on and share it with you guys and share my opinion. So my first ever book review, and that's how it went. And I am procrastinating because I promised at the start of this video that I would eat one of these, and I do not want to. I've got like a dribble of drink left, so I can't even save myself afterwards. If I get egg, I gotta be careful. If I get egg, I'm just gonna go yeet myself into a river, okay? Because we aren't about her today. All right. You know what? Don't look. I don't get to look. Why? Why did I? It's gonna be egg. I know it. It's gonna be egg. Oh no, it looks like egg. I can see the white. I don't want it. I don't want it. I take it back. What the hell is that? I can't even, I don't know. I mean, it's not nice, but is it grass? I don't know what that is. It was like white looking. Is it earwax? I'm just like, yum yum. Might have been earwax. I don't think so, because it wasn't bad. Like, was it marshmallow? I thought I ate all those. Wait, this one might be watermelon. No, it's not gonna be watermelon. Blueberry. I did that earlier. I was like, oh, this one's gonna be nice, because I thought it was something nice, and it was dirt. What's this one? This one looks like dirt. Hmm. Yeah, it's dirt. That's okay. I was one of those kids, so whatever. They're really not that bad. But I think I've had like booger. You know, I'm gonna find a booger. I don't know if that's booger. Oh geez, when you get to the end of dirt, it just oh, the end of it. This one's probably rotten egg. Which one are you? I don't trust you at all. You go over there. What's this one? This one might be rotten egg. This one might be earwax. I don't know. All I can taste is dirt now. I don't know. I do have some green, but I don't think it's booger. I'll just throw it in as well. That can't be booger. Oh, it's grass. So I got dirt and grass. I'm gonna say, no way. That wasn't bad. Is this banana? That's not banana. Oh no. What is that? This is where I end the video. I got too confident.